Okay, so schedules. This is why we have them. I'm posting the schedules for you guys for each classroom. Oops, that's upside down. But, you think, oh, well, they have a schedule. There's actually a reason behind everything we do, which we've developed in the time that we've opened the school. So in the morning when the kids first come in, we usually have centers set up at the tables, so there's different things for them to do. One of the things that I really encourage my teachers when I'm training them is not to use the room for the entertainment. So we plan things throughout the day so the kids have a lot of different activities. So we set up a room where there's at least 12 different choices for the kids so that they always get a different choice. They don't have to stay in a certain area, but they do have to pick an area that they want to play in. This is how we keep them spread out. So then we have breakfast. And then after that, we have easy centers again. Now, easy centers are set up so that we can do the things that we have to do if we're in a room by ourselves. If we're in a room by ourselves, we usually have to clean up after breakfast, and we have to make sure all the kids go to the bathroom. So we plan centers around the room that do not take us helping the kids. So what that means for you guys when you are putting a schedule together so that you have consistency and your kids have consistency is maybe there's a time that you're going to have to clean up after breakfast. So you're going to want to plan activities that your kids can do, and they can be messy. That isn't going to affect you and is going to let you be able to get a job done when you need to get it done without them having to interrupt you or without you having to stop and help them do something. And also keeps them engaged so they're allowing you to finish whatever it is that you need to do. So when you're putting your schedule together around the house, you want to plan for things like that. So if you have to cook breakfast, obviously you don't want a young child close to a stove. So you might put something in the sink that engages them, lets them feel like they are helping you, and you don't worry about the mess because you planned for that and you put a lot of towels underneath the sink. That keeps them away from the stove. That keeps you able to continue cooking. Then after breakfast, you might have something else for them to do that will keep them from bothering you while you finish cleaning up. The next part of our day when we do easy centers again is because and no matter what classroom it is, whether we're changing diapers or they are 4 and 5-year-olds, I keep them engaged so I can make sure that each of them go to the bathroom, because usually after that we're going to be going outside. Now, if you're potty training, it's important to have those certain times of the day planned so that you can consistently have them learning to go to the bathroom. So you plan around that. Then the way we usually do before we go outside is we have transition. Now, what we do with transition is that's when we usually do our circle times. Our circle times also have a reason. The reason is because usually we have to put sunscreen on if it's hot outside, or we have to get coats on, the children. So we do circle time. If we have another teacher in the room helping us, they will be putting their coats on while one teacher is keeping all the kids' attention and entertaining them, which is a time that we usually use for learning. If I'm by myself and I have 4 and 5-year-olds, while I am teaching them and entertaining them, I'm dismissing them one by one to go get their coat on. The reason we do this is because when you send 12 kids over to all get their coats on at one time, you are putting them all in one area together, which is usually when we get pushing and shoving and when kids start to just not quite know how to use their social skills yet. What transition time can be for you being at home is those special moments that you get to connect with your child and teach them something. It could be reading a book, where at school, they don't get to sit in my lap because I have 12 children. And circle time has a purpose. The purpose is for me to get them out the door to go outside and play. For you, it is a time that you get one-on-one attention with your child. And please understand what a blessing that really is. Now you can schedule outdoor time for your child to go outside and play. After they go outside and play, and you've had a little bit of breath, because it is a relaxation time, because there's so many things outside to entertain kids. And it doesn't always have to be you, but you can also make it you. It can be with a ball, you can take them bike riding. There's so many things that you get to do with your child right now. Now, when they come back inside is usually when we usually do another learning transition time. This will help you if you're not wanting your child to get behind, because you have these 5 to 10 moments throughout the day that you are teaching them something to keep them caught up with what you're wanting them to do so that they're ready to go to kindergarten. Without trying to say, well, for an hour, we're going to sit down here and you are going to learn and you're going to do your ABCs and you're going to learn papers because I don't want you to get behind. That's not fun. A lot of times I tell my teachers, if the children aren't sitting at circle time, it's because you're not fun. This is a time for you to teach your children. This is a time for you to have fun with your children. So when they come back in, it's another time to learn. Where at school, they would normally be having a transition time, circle time, because we have to get their coats off or we have to wash their hands. And we don't want large groups of children all together at once. But once again, you get to let them sit in your lap and you get to have that wonderful personal time. After that is when we would usually have our harder activity of the day. They've already played outside. They've already went to the bathroom. So we get this short amount of time where we can actually do an activity with them that we get to really help them get into, something that they can't quite do on their own. And that's usually when we do art and science or cooking. Great fun things to do with your kids. They love to cook. What I usually do is I would prep everything the night before, so you already have it measured out and it's ready to go. And you get to spend that time with them. Being prepared is huge. Planning ahead is huge. And Pinterest right now is your best friend. So science, cooking, art, this is when you do that. When that is over, it is usually time for you to go outside again. So you could either do another circle time where you get another learning moment or connection time, or they go back outside. Usually then when they come back in, it's time for lunch. And after lunch, we go to the bathroom, we brush our teeth, and then we have transition time into going to bed. Now, I will do a longer segment on things that I do to get 12 children, even 1-year-olds, to go to sleep. But the biggest thing is that this is another time for you to connect with your child and have what we call I love you rituals. Then when they wake up, you start it all again. I very much suggest to you to set up a schedule throughout the day. So when you wake up, you would it's time for them to go to the bathroom again. So you have centers once again set up around the room for them to do that doesn't take your time to interact with them. It's something they can do on their own and engage with. You want to have more than one. That way, when you see they get bored with one activity, you have them clean that activity up and then they have a choice of a couple more. Okay? Don't just think that you're going to set one thing out there and they're going to sit there and play with it for 30 minutes. And that's about the time that you think about it's going to take you to do a job or clean up. Then it's snack time. And then after that, it's time for them to go to the bathroom, transition, go outside. Then they come back inside. Kids do not handle long periods of time of doing the same activity. And that's why we split things up throughout the day. That way, throughout the day, you can have many times that you're able to teach them, you're able to connect with them, they're able to go outside. Then, for us, it's when you guys come and pick them up. Now, what I suggest to you is maybe try to stick to some of your normal activities that you do at night. I would put off watching TV or using TV to distract your children, because if you only use your house and their playrooms and their bedrooms and the TV, they will get bored. But if you keep them in a schedule that they're used to with going to school, and you really take this time to spend with your kids. You had them for a reason. You had them because you wanted to be a parent. So what a gift you're being given. So I'm hoping that through these videos, you will have the most amazing couple of weeks that you will remember for the rest of your life. Until next time.